Hello everyone. My favorite month is over. October is come and gone just like the rest of this year. And I did some things, some exciting things, some non-October related things, but let's jump right into it, starting with the most exciting thing I did this month. I went to Disney World. I took a week-long vacation to Disney World, 1 day for each park plus 1 day for Universal, and just had the best time. We did everything. We rode all our favorite rides, ate so much food, drank all the drinks. It was just a fantastic trip to Disney World, just what I needed for my birthday month. Because then when I got home, I had like half of a day of rest, and then I drove to Disneyland for my actual birthday. Yeah, lots of Disney parks at the end of this month, but no regrets. Loved it. Going for like not an event, just my birthday to California Adventure was fun. I had a great time. So those were the big ticket moments of October. Let's jump into movies I watched this month. Lots of movies. Lots of not movies I really expected, but here we go. I watched Diana the Musical on Netflix. Now, this is similar to Hamilton, a recorded version of the play that they turned into a movie for TV. I believe this was always planning on becoming a show, but I don't know, because it was supposed to open up on Broadway kind of right before COVID, I think, so I actually saw this show in real life at the La Jolla Playhouse here in San Diego and loved it. So I was really excited for it to come to a video version that I could watch whenever I want. And I love that they're doing these with musicals because it's so hard to get to the theater to see all this fun stuff. And I love that they can just give it to everybody. I'm on board. Anyways, Diana the Musical, really good if you're interested in kind of the history of her. It starts when she's kind of a teen and starts dating Charles and then goes all the way to her death. It just has some fun songs and it's interesting, so I recommend it. The next movie I watched, also on Netflix, was Vivo. Okay, so this was like similar to Wish Dragon. My coworker's like, oh, you should watch it, it's really good. I sobbed the whole time. I'm like, okay. So it's an animated movie, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to cry the whole time, but I'm gonna watch it. I put it on while I was doing something else, became instantly addicted to it. The songs are awesome. The story is adorable. Did I sob the whole time? 100%. Will you? Yes, unless you don't have a heart. This is just a sweet story, and it's by Lin-Manuel, so you kind of know what style the music is gonna be, but it was really, really fun, and I hesitated on watching it, but I totally recommend this. The next movie I watched, kicking off my Halloween-themed movies, was Casper. Now, if you are a child of the 80s, 90s, you've 100% seen this movie. I watched it all the time, had a huge crush on the human Casper. Love this movie. It's for all ages. The next Halloween movie I watched was Bewitched. Clearly, I do not watch scary Halloween movies. I love lighthearted movies about fun witches. And that's what this movie is. The two of them are just adorable, and it's really, really cheesy rom-com, but love it for Halloween. The soundtrack is awesome. That's probably a good part of the reason why I like this movie. I just love the soundtrack so much. And then my next Halloween movie was The Labyrinth. I have seen this movie, but I have to say it's been a long, long time. I know this movie's a cult classic, and I should watch it more regular because it's awesome. And it was on Netflix, so there's really not any reason not to. I think what I loved the most about this movie is they're all puppets. Like, nothing is computer animated. I mean, there is one scene, but you can totally tell what scene that is. But other than that, it's all like Jim Henson puppets, Lucasfilm doing all this fun stuff that you just don't see anymore. So that was really cool. And anyways, it's a classic that, I mean, doesn't have to be a Halloween movie. It can be watched throughout the year. The next Halloween movie I watched was Something Wicked This Way Comes. Now, I had to buy this on DVD because it's not on Disney+. This is a Disney movie. This is like Disney's one step into horror. I don't even want to call it that. It's just a weird movie. I bought it like 2 years ago because we've been wanting to watch it. We just end up watching other movies we like and never really got around to it, but I'm like, this is the year. We are watching Something Wicked This Way Comes. And I can't really recommend it because it's kind of weird. I feel like as a person who's seen a lot of Disney movies, I feel like I needed to watch it. Do I need to watch it again? No, probably not. It's funny because we were watching it and it was just bothering me because I recognized this main character and I just couldn't place him. And then, like, I swear, in the 3/4 of the way through the movie, I just yell, Pirates of the Caribbean! He is Elizabeth Swann's dad from Pirates of the Caribbean. It took me the whole movie, but everybody's like, oh my god, it is! So it was fun because I love recognizing characters, and it's fun to not look it up on the internet and just kind of keep teasing your brain on what it is, and you finally figured out. It's really fun. Anyways, weird movie, not one I would really recommend. Final Halloween movie I watched on Halloween night, we watched Cruella. Love this movie. It's like my 4th time watching it because it's just, oh, it's so good. I love everything about this movie. Another one with a really good soundtrack. And it was a great, fun Halloween movie while I was handing out candy to kids. I did watch 2 non-Halloween movies. I watched, well, obviously, besides Diana the Musical, I watched The Princess and the Frog for my second Monday of the month movie night. I picked that one this month because this is my favorite villain song. I love Dr. Facilier's Friends on the Other Side. And I actually love this movie as a whole. I know it's much more popular now than it was when it first came out, which is super disappointing. I know a lot of people who haven't even seen this movie. I'm like, Princess and the Frog, come on, it's a Disney classic now. She's a Disney princess, the villain is great. Like, ugh, I love everything about this movie. It did not get the hype that it deserved when it first came out, but I'm glad it's kind of coming into its own now. So, Princess and the Frog. And then one movie I saw in theaters, Dune. A movie I was super, super stoked for, and then of course, COVID, and they're like, oh, it's okay, it's coming on HBO Max. Yeah, it came to HBO Max, but like not during COVID when we wanted new movies and they were just sitting on it. They, of course, pushed it back to be in the theater. But I'm glad I waited to see it in the theater because it definitely is one of those that needs to be seen on the big screen. It's really just a cinematic sci-fi movie. I did not watch the first original version of this movie. I did not read the book, so I cannot judge it based on those 2 things. But based on being a first timer, knowing nothing about the story, loved it. There's a lot to kind of focus, and I imagine I need to watch it probably at least 3 more times to fully understand what everybody's name is, where everybody comes from, what everybody's doing. But super fascinating. Everybody in it was fantastic. A lot of fun Disney people in it, but it was really, really fun. Not fun like I laughed the whole time, just so interesting to watch something big and epic. The worlds and the music and everything about this really came together nice. I just really, really like this movie. I have to recommend it. I have to recommend it in the theater. I'll be watching it again on HBO Max. But that's it for movies. A lot of movies, I know. And because of that, not too many shows. So technically I watched 2 shows, but I watched 3 seasons. So I watched season 3 and the final season, season 4 of The OC. I really did love this show the second time. I loved it the first time, but it was really, really fun for a second watch. It had a lull in the middle, but that last season was really good, and I wish that the season 3 would have been more like season 4, but whatever. Bittersweet goodbye to another show, and I watched all of The OC on HBO Max. And then the 3rd season of shows I watched was I finished What If on Disney+. It was super fascinating watching this show. If you haven't watched it yet, I'm gonna do some spoilers. It's not a big deal, but it could be a spoiler if you're going to watch it. I thought that they were just gonna be little one-offs based on the first few episodes, and then I'm starting to think, this is kind of tying in and this is kind of crossing over. And then you get to the last episode or 2 and you're like, there we are. I should have known. I should have known that Marvel would just bring everything together in the end and then kind of, I'm not going to say tie it up because I definitely think there is more to come from not only this show, but things that happen in this show. I don't know. I'm tired of guessing. I mean, I'll be doing it next week in my Eternals review, but I'm tired of it because I just don't know. And I think it's just, they've made it kind of unpredictable in a way that we are addicted and love to guess and watch more of. I know this is animated. I actually really enjoyed the animation style of this movie. It's very different, very comic book-esque. I thought this show was fascinating and just one more layer of Marvel for us. That's Marvel's What If. If you haven't watched it and you're a Marvel fan, I think you should. And then now, one of the things I am most proud of. You ready for this? I read 3 books. Yes, 3 whole books. I know. I haven't read in a really long time, but Carson and I started a holiday book club, so I got 2 Halloween books in this month. The first book I actually finished, though, was Luck of the Titanic. Not at all what I expected it to be. I am slightly obsessed with all things Titanic. I think it's fascinating and so interesting and so frustrating and so tragically beautiful that I'm hooked to anything that's Titanic. Loved just imagining what it would be like, and then the sheer terror of realizing your ship is going down and reading it was just fascinating. Spoiler, hated the ending. And if you know me at all, you know why, because I love a happy ending. And like, I obviously knew some people were gonna die because it's the Titanic. Not everyone could live, but of course in my magical fairy world, I believe that everyone lives. So, hated the ending, otherwise it's a great book. The next book I read was the first book in Carson's and I holiday book club, which we call it, I don't remember what we named our book club. I'll let you know next month. But if you want to join, let me know. We read The Ex-Hex. I believe she found this on TikTok. Whatever, I don't care because I loved this book. So whatever got us to here, I'm grateful for it because it was a super, super fun Halloween book because it actually takes place on Halloween. It has fun witches that aren't like devil worshipping. It's just kind of like little coven, fun cousin book with just great characters. I really, really hope she does more, but who knows with rom-coms. And then the second book we read for Halloween was Witch Please. Another book about girl witches, not as Halloween-ish as we thought. We picked it because it's witchy, but there's not a lot of Halloween in it, and it's a little steamier than the first one, but still very good. I gave Ex-Hex 5 broomsticks out of 5 broomsticks. I gave this one 4. Still, fun little read. Yeah, 3 books. I hope you guys are as proud of me as I am of myself. And hopefully I keep it up. We'll see. But those are all the things I did in October. Did I do any videos for you guys? Nope. Nope. And I apologize for that. And I'd like to promise you that I'm going to do more in November. But with the way that my life is going, maybe not. You might just be getting recaps. I have plans and the best of intentions for November. I have an idea for every week. Whether I execute them or not, that's on me. It's not on you guys. I apologize for that. My name's Aubrey. I make new videos every Thursday, sort of. So make sure you subscribe and follow me on all my social media, and I will see you guys next week. I mean, 3 books is impressive. Remember when I was trying to read Midnight Sun and I kept telling you guys, I'm like, oh, I'm reading Midnight Sun. Oh, I'm gonna read Midnight Sun. That was me dragging my feet. And I hate to say it, but all these books combined were better than Midnight Sun. Don't tell Midnight Sun I said that, but